One second proposition has been very fast to accuse us of knifing for simply stating that the government should not endorse divisive ideologies in the Tiananmen Square, completely in line with the opening opposition. They don't exactly know how to engage, because we have proven to you how years of Confucian, whatever you say that, I'm sorry I can't pronounce it, rule has led China to a far worse place than where it is now. And we have shown you that what China needs right now is innovation, is initiative. It's not the passive ideology, the feudal ideology that Confucius endorses, and they have never, ever dealt with that. What did they tell us? They told us that the government have the right to control the Confucius ideals. We totally agree. What we think is that the government doesn't have the interest to endorse those ideas in Tiananmen Square. We are perfectly fine with Confucius Institution. We are perfectly fine with the statue being in the museum. What we think is that putting it in the Tiananmen Square sends a divisive message to society that will alienate significant parts of the Chinese society, and that is exactly what Michael told you. And that is why we believe that the last speech was completely irrelevant. The last thing we heard was, in reply to a point of information by me, we heard that, well, we trust people to understand what will promote China and what wouldn't. Well, let me tell you something, I don't. I believe that someone once told me that when you tell a girl something and there are two ways to interpret it, she will always interpret it the offensive way. I think that most minorities are like that. I believe that a lot of people would actually interpret putting the statue in Tiananmen Square exactly as government endorsing offensive, oppressive sort of ideologies. And this is exactly what we don't want the Chinese government to do at this point. No. So, what am I going to tell you today in my summation? I'm going to first of all tell you why the government shouldn't endorse divisive philosophies or ideologies, and I'm going to then tell you why specifically the Confucian philosophy is especially bad at this point. So let's start with the general point, because we've all agreed in this debate, Tate has spent quite a lot of time establishing this, we all agree, that putting the statue in Tiananmen Square means government endorsal of this perception. They told us that they want to have diversity and reflection of society and all these nice values that Tate talked about. But what Michael told you is that the fact of the matter is that we can never have representation for everyone. No, thank you, not at this point. We can never have representation of everyone. Space is limited, just to be honest. And what we tell you, Madam Speaker, is that it is because of that that we believe that we should not endorse things that are divisive, things that please only parts of our society. Monica started with talking to us about a message of unity, and Michael has followed that by telling us that first of all, we need this message, especially now, in light of the challenges that China faces, in light of the turmoil that is expected to come within the next years. Go, Tate.
Can you please name me...
Chairman Mao was a man of great works, yet was also controversial and divisive. Why don't you trust the people of China to have another figure that represents them, yet be aware of his flaws?
Because we believe that Chairman Mao has led China to where it is now, and his ideology is suitable to what China needs now. And we believe that what you've said about Confucius just proves to us how much his place is in the past, i.e. in a museum. Now, what we tell you is that the government should respect all of the people. We feel that when the government endorses a message that some of the people find offensive, that women may find offensive, that non-Han Chinese may find offensive, that people who reject feudalism might find offensive, the government alienates itself from its citizens. And by doing that, Madam Speaker, what we believe happens now is that people lose trust in the government, as Michael has told you, and that people therefore cannot then support the government fully when it does other things which they feel are for their benefit. What we tell you, Madam Speaker, is that at the end of the day, it is very important that the things the government endorses will be the things that unifies China rather than divide it. No. What we then tell you about why specifically not Confucius is that we've heard quite a lot of he had good things, he had bad things. We've heard from the government, he promotes tolerance, unity, being anti-materialist, that sort of stuff. We've heard from the opposition, he was pro-Han, he was anti-women, he was very endorsive of the government. But what we tell you, Madam Speaker, is that at the end of the day, what's important in this is number one, as Michael Baer, I'm pointing out now to differentiate the two, has pointed out, is that we do not want controversial people. The fact that he had good sides and bad sides doesn't mean we deny his good sides. It just means we believe that at a place of political dominance, such as the Tiananmen Square, we do not believe there is room to put someone who is so controversial. What's even more important is that not only is he controversial, but as Michael pointed out, he's not relevant for the challenges China faces today. No, thank you. We believe that Confucius is a symbol of China being dominated by others. He's a symbol of China being unable to control its own fate. It's a symbol of China being passive and letting the West dictate its way. No. And what we tell you, Madam Speaker, is that in all honesty, we believe that currently we have the picture of Chairman Mao there. We believe that this person represents the current China, the China that looks to the future, the China that wants to have nuclear weapons, the China that is currently the second largest economy in the world, will soon be the first, we promise you, and no, we're not talking about GDP per capita. And what we tell you is that we believe that actually, Madam Speaker, Chairman Mao represents the future of China, and we believe that what the government should endorse are the things that are the future, are the things of the way in which China wants to go. Now, they tell us that Chairman Mao is actually, sorry, guys, really bad, is actually also controversial or divisive. What we tell you, Madam Speaker, is that because he's the present and the future, we currently discuss those things. And that is why, Madam Speaker, we believe that this is the future, that this is the discourse we want to have. We've heard from them, we talk about Confucius, but we talk about him in relation to the past of China, where he belongs, in a museum. We do not ignore the fact that Confucius exists. We do not deny his importance to China, but we believe that he does not have a place where China is today. And Tiananmen Square is the heart of China today. The museum represents China of the past, and that is exactly where the statue belongs. Madam Speaker, I am very proud to stand in opposition. Woo!